Channel. My name is Sarah, and today I'm going to do a tutorial on how I took my vector art and modded it into The Sims 4. I'm going to use the same vector art that I showed you prior to this video, the stromanth tricolor plant. So you are able to see the process of how I made that, and now I'm going to take the final product and put it into the game. So let's just dive right in. So I have the Sims4Studio already downloaded and opened. If you don't have the Sims4Studio, it is a separate piece of software that you need to download outside of the game. It's pretty simple to download it, but I'll link the download link in the description so it gives you a place to start. We're going to dive into objects since we are modding artwork in The Sims. And once it opens up, you'll see it is every buy item in the game, which is super cool. You can go up here to the top bar, and under game pack, you can filter which pack you want. When you're doing artwork specifically, thinking about what frame you want, because some of the frames in game have a glare to them. So if that's a look you want, you can have a frame with that. If that's not a look that you don't want, make sure you pick a frame that doesn't have glare. So I'm going to pick this one. So I've selected it, and I'm going to go down here and press next. So as you can see, the Finder window pops up here now. And so we're going to name what we want our package file to be, which is the file that you put into your game. Select where you want it to go. I have a folder here, Sims4 Art. I'm going to make a new folder. I'm going to name this the stromanth. I'm going to mess up probably how to say this plant name every time. I looked it up before. I did a whole how do you say this plant name? But I'm probably going to mess it up every time. So bear with me. And then name it stromanth plant CC art print. Now we're just saving. That window will go away, and then this window will open up. You can see here, this window, it shows us our picture frame. Right click and hold, and you can move it all around, which is helpful because we need to also create a thumbnail. So this is totally up to your preference, but personally, I also like to angle my thumbnail so that they kind of blend in with what the game already does. So this screen is actually really helpful to kind of get an angle that you want. And then I'm going to take a screenshot. In here, I'm going to make another folder, and I'm going to call this thumbnail so I can just start saving. So let's dive into what's on this screen for you. So as you can see, we have different tabs here: catalog, texture, mesh, tags. We have the swatch color of your print. We have the name, description, and price. So the name, description, and price are what show up in game. So when people hover or click on your photo, all of this information comes up. Under texture, you'll see that you have an import and an export. So we're going to exporting our flat photo image, which is what we need to put into Photoshop. So I'm going to name this, flat, if I can type, source photo. And it saves as a PNG. So I'm going to pull over my Finder just to give you an update. So as you'll see here, so this was our source footage, screenshot for a thumbnail. This is the flat source footage, which we just saved from Sims4Studio. And then you'll see too, our package folder is here, and then the folder I made for thumbnail, which we'll come back to that. So this is good. This is what you want. So now we're going to actually go into Photoshop, which is the editing software I'm going to be using today. Use whatever editing software you feel comfortable with and can get you the same outcome. I am going to cut this current photo out. I'm just going into the corner, dragging out where the picture frame is, and I'm going to delete. I'm going to add a new layer underneath our photo layer, and this is the layer that will put our artwork. I created it in Illustrator, and I exported it as a PNG. You can kind of pick and choose, like maybe I want to cut off, more of the other side and have it more central, which I think this looks pretty good. So maybe we'll do it about there. I'm going to zoom in, make sure that all my edges look pretty good, that I cut it out okay. So once this looks good to you, go ahead and save. So you're also going to want to save this as a PNG. All right, so then we can, for now, minimize Photoshop. Okay, so now we want to import. So we will import what we just did in Photoshop with our new artwork, the flat version. Import, and there it is. Then from here, so these are our swatches of the frame. So it's a black frame. we can leave it black, and then you can click on these and you can pick whatever color. Typically you want to pick, colors that are in your picture so that the swatch matches what the user's going to get. So they kind of have a sense of what colors, whatever you want to do. And so here you can see catalog thumbnail. So this is why we took the screenshot earlier. So I'm going to go back into Photoshop. And I'm going to pull my Finder window over again. So this was, again, our screenshot. So I'm going to pull this over and open this in Photoshop. I want, in the end, a transparent background. Cut this out however you choose, whatever you feel good with. If you're following along with me, I will talk out loud. So again, I'm just kind of cutting away I'm using the marquee tool again to just kind of cut away this blue. I wasn't totally straight, as you can see here. We have a little bit of an angle, so that's fine though. Just for my own sake, so I can help see, I'm creating another layer that I'm dropping underneath, and I'm just picking a random color. I'm doing a shortcut, Control backspace, to just fill the whole screen. So this color just helps me know where I need to cut. So go back to your picture frame layer, and now I'm going to use the pen tool. Okay, so we're going to use the pen tool, and I'm going to outline the frame. And I'm going to cut off the shadow because we can add our own shadow later. So I'm going to trace the frame directly on the edges. And we're gonna close it up. So then from here, if you go to paths, and then you'll see the the dotted outline, click on that. And then from here, I'm going to select inverse, and I'm just gonna press delete. So we're just deleting away the extra, and then I'm gonna deselect, which shortcut Control D. So you can see my edges are still a little rough. So we can go in and do some fine tuning. It definitely would have been better if I made this a perfect straight line, but obviously we were kind of eyeballing it. We can kind of adjust this in Photoshop, or you could go and take a new screenshot. Again, whatever angle you want your thumbnail to be. But let's clean this up a little bit. So going back to my layers, I am on my layer tool, and I'm just going to take the eraser, and I'm just going edge to edge. I'm clicking on one side, holding down Shift, and then clicking on the other side so that my eraser drags in that straight line. Shift helps it stay in a straight line, so that's nice to always do that. So I've clicked on one edge, and now I'm pressing Shift and clicking at the top. And I don't know if you could really see that, but it did clean up this little white line here. Click the eraser, go to the top, hold Shift, click again. So there you could see a little bit more of the white coming off. Let me move this ruler out of the way. So it's a little bit of a rough edge though. Okay, so I'm doing the same thing. So I clicked at the top, holding down Shift, and now I'm clicking the bottom. So now we have all of the white out of the way, which is wonderful. I'm bringing my ruler back so that I can adjust this a little bit to make this a straighter line. Clicking Command T, which is our free transform, and then I'm going to hold Control, and then if you click it, so I'm still holding Control as I'm doing this, and you can click on just this edge, and it will allow you to move only that edge instead of the whole frame. So you can kind of make your own your own angle. So I've just dragged that to our ruler so that it's at least now straight. We're going to cut away the artwork that's in there and put ours in. So I'm on my art layer, doing the pen tool on the inside of the frame, again, right up to it. We can add our own shadows after. I'm gonna have to clean this up. It looks like I'm a little off, but we're gonna finish that shape, and then we'll do the same thing. We'll go to paths, click on the dots, and then delete. We can kind of clean it up the same way. So I am still on my frame layer, and I have, again, just taken the eraser tool, and I'm going to click the edges and clean them up the same way. Okay, so we have our empty frame, and then we have our PNG vector over here. So I'm going to copy this and drop it in to our frame, and we want this layer of our art to be behind the frame. So I'm highlighting our art. It's a lot larger, so we just need to scale it down. We can now adjust as we need. So we have our frame, we have our artwork, we have our transparent background, so we're good to go. So this, I don't need this layer. This was just for me to visually see while I was cutting things out. And then we will save it as a PNG. And again, you do this as a PNG so that it saves your transparent background. Okay, so if you guys recall, before we jumped into Photoshop, we were at the catalog thumbnail. So here you import. I'm going into my thumbnail folder. There's the piece that we just made, and I'm importing it. So this is how it will look in the game. So we have a little angle, we have a nice transparent background. Good to go. I'm happy with that. So we are all set on this screen. So under meshes, I don't do anything here. This is what it looks like just for your reference, but I don't think you really need to change anything. And then under tags, so this is how if people categorize your art in game, filters and where it pops up. So pick whatever you want so that it shows up in game how you want it to show up. So going back to catalog, just to double check everything, this looks good to go. Also, if there's multiple picture frame colors, they'll pop up here. So let's add one more color of a picture frame so that we can run through that in the tutorial too. If we wanted to add an alternative picture frame color, we're going to go back into textures and click here on your swatch and do add swatch. So now we have 1 and 2. Going back into Photoshop, so this one we kind of have to make our own. I'm going to hide this layer, color overlay, blend mode, difference. So I feel like I like this because you still get a little texture in your frame. It's kind of like off-white. So we'll do that. And then if we show our artwork, this gives you a sense of what this would look like. So then we're just, same thing as before, we're just going to export this as a PNG. Minimize Photoshop. Okay, so again, we're on our second swatch. We want this to look like our new white picture frame. So I'm going to import and then grab your new white picture frame. So see, now it's white. So now we have a black frame and a white frame. And for the thumbnail, you could get fancy and you could add, a new white thumbnail. I'm going to just use our same one. So I'm going to import, go into our thumbnail and put it here. So as you can see, flipping through 1 and 2, same thumbnail, but your frame changes. And then here for the swatches, I'm going to change this to white. So we have white and green. And then this also will appear in game so that they know that there's 2 different frames. And adding these under the same package file allows them to click on one image and get both of the colors right there instead of having them be 2 separate images. Okay, so I think we're good to go. So we have our 2 frames, we have our artwork, our thumbnail, all that good stuff. Tags, you can change your tags for each one. So maybe for this one, we want to add, we want to take off black because we changed the frame and add white because now it's white frame. Other than that, the description will be the same and all that good stuff. So now we just save. Your package has been saved. Wonderful. So now let's test it. So from here, let me pull over my Finder window. So I'm going to make 2 folders so that I can show you. If you don't know how to put mods into your game, this is how you do it. So under Documents, and again, I'm on a PC, so if you're on a Mac, it could be different. And so Documents, Electronic Arts, The Sims 4, and then Mods. So I already have some mods in here, as you will see. And so remember, this is our package file, what we saved from the very beginning. So you're gonna take this, I'm gonna copy, and then I'm gonna paste it into my mods folder. So then you'll see right here what we labeled it. So Serenade, Stromain's, Plant, CC, Art Print. These pieces of art are CC. They are not gallery art. They are not called no CC art, which is just art that you can find in the Sims 4 gallery. These are separate files that you have to put into your game. And so one more thing I wanted to know is I use Sims File Share to share my package files for people. This is easy. All they do is just download the link and again, put that package file into their mod folder. So I just wanted to briefly show here, if you do start making CC content, this is a great resource. So now let's open up the game and see how it looks in game. Here was our original. So you can see like they're all a little bit angled, and then here's ours. So it blends in nicely, which is good. And then when I hover over, you can see the title, the price, the description, all the things that we filled in Sims4Studio. And then you can see our beautiful thumbnail there too. So, and then if you click here, you'll see our two swatches that we made. So we use the same thumbnail for both, which again, you can change that. But I'm going to click on one. Oh, here, I got to turn on my cheats. If you don't know of this, bb.move objects, best cheat ever. It just allows you to move things freely, which is awesome. So I'm going to place 2. Let's move these over a smidge. And then I'm going to go up to swatches and make one our black frame. So that now you see we have our beautiful art in both frames, which is awesome. And again, I tried to be mindful of not picking one with a glare. So as you can see, as we move, the sunlight's directly hitting on them and there is no glare. It never gets old. It's very surreal seeing my artwork in Sims. It's pretty awesome, especially when you see other people use it too. So this sums up our tutorial. I hope that this helped. If I missed anything, if you still have any questions, please let me know. Leave a comment down below and I'll definitely get back to you. And let me know if this was helpful and if you want more videos like this. So thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it and I'll see you on the next one.